Good morning, guys. So today I wanted to talk about something that I think most people aren't doing, myself included. I haven't been the best at this, even though I've known about it probably for a long time. I just think it tends to get overlooked, but it's actually, I think, can be very powerful. I'm really trying to be more intentional about doing it now, especially because I recognize how impactful it really is. And I think this is one of those separators between like the average person, again, putting myself in that camp, and then the people who are really successful at what they're doing. And that is to, and again, it sounds so simple, but it's not. It might be simple, but it's not easy, like most things. But that is to do more things that light you up, that give you energy, and do less things that take away energy from you. And I know this is something I've, again, not been the best about paying attention to, especially for someone who is constantly seeking energy. So this is kind of why it's top of mind. I'm reconfiguring a little bit my sleeping morning routine. I was sleeping a little bit more the last couple nights and actually found I didn't enjoy it as much. And so going back, so I was doing 6.5 hours, experimented with 8 hours for the last couple nights, didn't like it. So going back to 6.5. Part of the reason I went to 8 is struggling a little bit with tiredness. And one might think more rest is the antidote. I don't necessarily believe that based on everything I've read. I've been trying to trying to, by hack, I mean improve my sleep quality and not necessarily quantity. That's what hacking is. It's not trying to cut corners, it's actually trying to be optimizing sleep. So this thing is top of mind because I'm kind of trying to figure out my sleep, as well as forever. For the last 7, almost 8 years, I've been doing paleo and getting really deep into health. Like either the number one or constantly in the top 3 reasons I continue to push to get healthier, to learn more knowledge around health, is because I want more energy in the day. And I want more energy to be able to do other things, not health. It's like I invest so much time into health and being healthy and learning about health because I want the return on investment, which is the more energy in the day to do the other things I really want to do. And so that's what's kind of led me more to here is I feel like for myself, I'm kind of tapping out on the high end of health. It's like I'm getting to that point of diminishing returns. I'm sure there's still a lot more. Especially I feel like there's a lot of things I have knowledge about but are just not economical. I don't have the financial means to kind of start playing with supplements or technologies that are just kind of a little further, that would require some more financial investment. So to kind of figure out a different avenue, an avenue I can get more return on, and especially I think most people can get significant return on, again, myself included, is to start paying attention to the things that actually feed us in terms of like the things that give you energy, the things that by doing them, you have more energy than you did when you started. So it's like you can actually go into them feeling tired and depleted and come out of that process of doing that activity feeling energized and ready to go. And then conversely, on the other side, really paying attention to the things that drain you or I, that you can be energetic, you can be full of life, and then when you do these tasks or these whatever activities, you come out feeling a lot more drained. And you might not necessarily be able to do 100% of the energetic stuff and avoid 100% of the draining stuff. I doubt that's possible in our lives, but I think that's the goal. I think always we want to aim for the perfect, but with the realization that perfect isn't obtainable. that. You're never going to get to the 100%, but you want to act and map towards the 100% so that if you hit 90, 80, 70, it's a lot better than if you aimed for, say, 70% and then had the same 90, 80, 70% of that ratio. You'd be a lot lower, right? So it's like we aim for the 100% so that when we don't hit that mark, we don't beat ourselves up, but we've gone a long way, versus if we only aimed for 70% and we missed that mark, we'd be a lot further back, right? And yeah, so this idea I think is actually quite simple, but again, hard because we're kind of going about our days and not necessarily intentional. Especially, it's like, to start practicing this, you're already got a life and things and habits and routines and activities and things planned. And I think it just starts with going about the day intentionally, checking in and just collecting data at first. Like, as you go through your day and your week and then the next week, like, try to really be intentional. Pay attention to what's filling you and what's draining you, and just start getting that in your mind, because that'll help you further along later. So it's like, start paying attention. And I'm doing the same thing. Again, I've known about this for a long time, but it's really about doing the work. So I'm trying to pay more attention to the things that light me up and the things that take away energy and make me tired. Because what I'm trying to figure out is, I don't think it's a matter of sleeping. I think I'm doing a good job on that. I think it's a matter of, I have too many things in my day that are quite draining, and not enough things that are exciting, or I'm not stacking them appropriately. I'm not having enough of a blend where do some things that are expending energy that make me tired, and then follow that up with some things that light me up and get me excited and give me energy, and doing a better job of riding a wave, as opposed to, I've got these morning and end routines that are good, these end caps, but then during the day, it's usually a lot of work, which is often a lot of times on my computer for hours, and that's just crashing me in the afternoons, and I'm getting tired, so I'm thinking it's a sleep thing, but this is kind of again, something I've known about for a while but haven't leaned fully into. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lean harder into this and really experiment and test, because that's all we can do, and keep my sleep at the same, and see if through intentional actions and doing more things that give me energy, even if I still do the same amount of things that take energy, if I can supplement in more things that give me energy throughout the day, and just see what my days are like, and run that for a little while and see what happens. I'm pretty confident it's going to have some big changes, because again, this isn't new, this isn't my idea, this is coming from a lot of people I follow. Again, ultimately, I think that is the goal. Like, Gary Vee says as well, it's like, success isn't about money and accomplishing your goals. Success is about waking up and being happy. And I think that's part of this. This is the practice of being happier, like being intentional in what we do in our day, so that we're doing more things that bring us joy. And the only way you can realize where you stand in that is to start paying attention and see, like, am I doing 80% things that take energy and only 20% things that give me energy? How can we start tipping the scales a little bit more on the give me energy side, right? Even if we can raise that 5, 10, 15%, like, that's noticeable. You'll probably feel that. I'm probably going to feel that. And so this one, I'm going to plant a nugget in my brain to maybe in a week or two do an update to see how this goes. It'll be good for me to keep me accountable in terms of, this is something I want to do, so I need to make sure I'm remembering every day. I'll probably set a reminder or a sticky note or something as a visual aid so that I don't forget, because it's easy. Sometimes I do these things, I have these ideas, and then tomorrow happens, and then I forget, and then I forget the next day, and then it's usually gone by then. So especially, it's important when you're starting something new to have those reminders. It just really helps. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I think I kind of wanted to talk about what I'm doing and give you the same general sense of how we can all do this, which I think I did. Again, first step, just pay attention. And then second step, try to tip those scales. How do you do more of the things that give you energy, less of the things that don't? Or how do you blend them better? So for me, that's going to be another thing is in between or amongst these big chunks of work time that I'm spending a lot of time on the computer, how do I implement a little bit more things that fuel me, get me excited, raise up my energy levels again so that I have more to then commit or devote or use up to then the work, because the work I'm doing is important. Usually the work we're doing is important, whether it's basic to give us money to pay bills, or it's like we're working on something to lead to something, and sometimes the work is just tough. It can be a little bit of a grind. And so how do we set ourselves up best so that we have energy to do our best job in that process and not kind of just slough it or too tired to care? So yeah, I think that is a good topic for today, and I will leave it at that, and I will see you guys tomorrow.